It's Friday in South Carolina. Welcome to the Touchdowns podcast presented by Harrison Williamson Cross Country Mortgage. This is an emergency pod. We typically don't do this on Friday, but with the news coming out of Columbia that Sterling Lucas will be headed to LSU and Baton Rouge, we felt the need to jump on here and discuss and talk about the impacts of what this will have on the Gamecocks going forward. I'm going to tee Thomas up because I know he's got a lot to say on this topic. I'm pretty pissed about this going down. This is a huge blow to the offseason momentum that we had created since the Clemson game. So I'm not very happy about this, but I'm going to tee Thomas up to dive in, and we're just going off the cuff here. Emergency pod.
Yeah, so this is a continuation of a conversation that Beck, Ross, and I were having at the end of last podcast. So it was off camera. You guys aren't privy to what we were discussing. But essentially, Beck and I were kind of continuing the conversation that we had been having on camera about the changes in college football and the portal. And just, Beck was expressing his disdain for the way that college football is changing and moving and becoming more like the NFL, and just how it made him feel like a boomer. And, he and I were arguing about the money aspect of college football. And so, we let Sterling Lucas walk, and newsflash, South Carolina fans, this is not official, but I'll just go ahead and tell you, do not put any energy into hoping that Dylan will stay. Dylan is going to follow Sterling. The only reason that I have not been worried about Dylan leaving us for money in the past is because I have it on very, very good authority that Sterling Lucas is his guy and he wants to play for Sterling. And Dylan already knows that it doesn't matter where he plays. He's going to be a top 10, if not a top 5 pick as soon as he's draft eligible. And we were paying him well enough that it wasn't worth him leaving a coach that he really enjoys playing for just for an extra whatever. But now that Sterling has been hired away from us, I will just about guarantee that Dylan will be entering the portal and following him to LSU. I'm going to be a little bit all over the place. I have a lot of things that I want to say, but to start, I'm just gonna throw some numbers at y'all. LSU is paying Eric Wolford. If y'all will remember him, he coached O-line for us under Muschamp, and he's been at Kentucky and I don't know where else in between. They're paying Wolf $923 this year. We're paying our new O-line coach $725. They're playing. LSU is paying their DC 3.1. Clayton is going to make 2.1 next year. LSU is paying their OC, who doesn't call plays because Lane calls plays, 2.5. We'll be paying Bryles 2.1, which is $1 million more than we were paying Shula. LSU pays their wide receiver coach $1 million. We pay ours $425. LSU pays their running backs coach $1 million. Our coach that we just hired, I'm blanking on his name, $775. The only coach that we pay more than the LSU coach is Tigray. Tigray makes $850. The LSU DB coach currently makes $755. If you add all that up, and I know I left some positions out, LSU is spending $9.3 million a year on their assistants next year. We are spending $6.6. That is in addition to LSU paying Lane $13 million a year versus us paying Shane $8. So LSU is paying Lane almost as much as our entire staff combined, and then they're spending another $9 million on top of that. And one of the things that Beck and I were arguing about off camera is money and the role of money in college football. And everyone is acting like college football is changing because of NIL and the portal. And what I'm trying to express to everybody is that it's not. I want you to look me in my eyes and read my lips when I tell you this. We paid Marcus Lattimore. We paid Alshon Jeffrey. We paid Clowney. Clowney was the number one recruit, not in the state, not in the country. He was the number one recruit in the history of 247 Sports. Since they had started doing rankings, he was the highest ranked player. And you think that he came to South Carolina because he loves South Carolina? Like, I'm not saying that players don't have an appreciation for their hometown or their home state or their school, and that's not part of the recipe and the equation. But the 30 for 30 on SMU called The Pony Excess, which is a great documentary, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. That was in the 1980s. And the only school that stopped playing players in the 1980s was fucking SMU. We have all been paying players the entire time that you have been alive. And NIL has, the only thing that NIL has changed is how the money gets to the player. And maybe some of the schools that didn't used to cheat as much are investing more money into their programs now, that it's more accessible. But this notion that everything has all changed in the last 5 years is just categorically not true. And the reason that South Carolina wasn't as good as LSU 50 years ago is the same reason that we're not as good as LSU today, because we don't invest in our program as much as they do. And guess what? They are spending $22 million on their staff next year, and we're spending $14 million on our staff next year, and that doesn't guarantee them shit. They could still go 4-8, just like we went 4-8 this year. But for us to sit here and complain about not beating them and not beating Georgia and not beating Texas A&M and not beating Alabama, but we're spending $7 million less than they are out the gate, I just don't understand why fans feel that way. Like, if anything, it has given me great peace of mind to know that the reason that the team that I grew up supporting and loving that never could find a way to beat these teams that always beat us, the simple answer to the equation is we just don't spend as much money as they do. That is a tangible thing. That is a goal that we can accomplish that can change things in our favor. And it just like, I don't know what LSU has offered Sterling. I'm really, really, really curious to know what that number is that we just couldn't match as an administration that just let, a guy who's from Orangeburg, South Carolina, I get it. LSU's a better job. It's going to be easier for him to recruit there because they have more money and they're in a more fertile recruiting footprint. And just overall, his life will be easier by going there. But you're telling me that we couldn't counter or overpay him enough to make it a harder decision? I don't see anybody on the LSU side of this that's making more than 1.5 other than the coordinators. We can't spend 1.5 to keep Sterling. And to everybody that says, oh, well, you don't pay 1.5 for D-line coaches. That's too much. Well, half the fucking fan base wanted to spend $26 million to buy Beamer out this year, but we can't spend 1.5 to keep our best recruiter, which he is. And he's from South Carolina, and we're just letting him walk out the door and our best player walk out right behind him. And then we're going to sit here next season and we can't rush the passer and we can't get pressure without blitzing. And Dylan's going to be playing at LSU because we didn't want to pay 1.5 for Sterling. Well, I'm glad that we have the money. For what? Like, what are we saving the money for? When are we going to spend it? We've had a program for 120 years and we haven't won. Maybe we should do something unorthodox. Maybe we should break the mold. Maybe we should pay more than you're supposed to pay for coaches and see if that changes anything. Because doing things the status quo way hasn't yielded any results. So what the fuck are we waiting for? I mean, shit. If Beamer doesn't win next year, he's gone. So, I mean, shit. I almost forgot. Beck, I understand that the portal is frustrating and you like that, we used to know players and whatever the fuck you feel about it. But the fact of the matter is the portal and NIL has closed the gap between the haves and the have-nots. The blue bloods have been hurt more by the portal and NIL than we have. We're just too chicken shit to fucking take advantage of it. I mean, I cannot pronounce his name. He started linebacker for us, number 17, first name Justin. He played in 12 games this year. He had 64 tackles. God knows how many snaps, but he was a contributor to our defense. You know where he would have been before the portal and NIL? On Alabama's scout team. Like, if the portal and NIL didn't exist, Bama and Ohio State and Georgia and Oregon and Michigan and fucking whoever else you want to throw, Oklahoma, the teams that ran college football before the portal era, they could have, a top 100 player sitting on their bench. Now it's harder for the elites to hoard talent. So, yeah, it sucks for the group of five that they're a farm system for D1. And it sucks for South Carolina fans that in a lot of ways, we're a farm team for the teams that are actually competing for a national championship. But if we ever want to be not that, then we need to fucking decide that we're going to take it seriously. And part of doing that is the money. It is the money. It's the investment. And that doesn't guarantee you shit. But what I can guarantee you is if we don't start spending what the teams that take football serious spend, we will never not have this happen to us. When a team that is serious about their program wants something from us, they will come in and they will take it away. And then, we just have to sit there, okay, and figure out, well, I guess we'll go hire someone else. I guess, we'll take the money we're going to go give Dylan. And, if y'all want a little spin cycle, a little sunshine, well, now we have $3 more million that we're going to give Dylan that we can go give to other players. La-di-da. But that is the nature of this animal. If we want to be taken seriously, the gap between our coaching staff and LSU's coaching staff needs to narrow. That's all I got for now. Take it away.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you about the investment. It's just where the investment comes from is the key. Money doesn't grow on trees. And so it's up to the administration and it's up to the big money players that support our university to get it done. As fans, we can't do anything about it. Yes, you were clowning on or we were talking and it's like, hey, contribute to Garnet Trust. And for me, as a guy who doesn't have enough disposable income to make a substantial donation to an NIL fund, it's like paying taxes. I just pay the Garnet Trust, and then I don't know where the money goes. and then I get a 4-8 season. Like, it's up to, if the investment needs to be there, it's up to the administration and the guys like Beamer to fight the administration. But you don't know what happened in that room with Sterling. Beamer could have been fucking saying, hey, let's pay him 1.5. But he has to go get Donati to agree to that. And Donati has to get 12 geezers on the board of trustees to agree to it. So it's not as simple as let's just do it. It has to start at the administration level. And that's the only way it's going to get done. Normal fans can't make a difference. Even if we try, our $50 a month, yes, like I said, $50 from 1,000 people adds up. But as a fan, you're just putting that money into the Garnet Trust, and then you don't know where it goes. I don't know what players it gets to. And then with the transfer portal, I just fucking gave $6,000 of my hard-earned money, or whatever the math is, 1,500. Everyone's giving at different levels in the fan base, and they sit there and they give their hard-earned money, and a motherfucker gets to walk in the portal and sit out the bowl game and not fucking play hard or care about the university like we care about the university.
Right.
That is what pisses me off.
That's what happened. But it happens everywhere. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you expect the parameters to be different for us. People at Ohio State have their money wasted too. People at Ohio State give money to Ohio State's football program, and they sign a 5-star, and then he never becomes anything. But they just keep doing it. They keep giving, they keep giving, they keep giving, and eventually they win. They were spending what they spent on the national championship roster 4 years before the national championship victory, and they kept losing to Michigan. That's why they were threatening to kill Ryan Day. They just do it until it works. You don't get to say, oh, well, let's win let's win an SEC championship and then invest in the program. Let's see what Beamer can do, and then I'll give him money. And that's not the order of how things happen. And I don't know why people expect it to be. Because guess what? Georgia is spending more money than us every year. And we're supposed to catch them and beat them? It's a better job. It's in a better footprint. There are more D1 players in the state of Georgia every single year than probably South Carolina produces in a 5 to 10 year window. And we're supposed to beat them with less money? And I know, okay, to the people that are saying, well, we'll never spend as much money as they do. Okay, well then the gap has to get narrower, because what has the results of our entire life shown us? Whatever we are giving is not enough. And how do I know that? Because we haven't won. We don't have anything. We don't have any championships. The only thing that I have witnessed in my 33 years of fucking supporting this team is a 40-point loss to Auburn in the SEC championship in 2010. That is the closest I have been to a championship, is 56-17 in 2010. So that tells me that whatever we do from a administration standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, from a fan base standpoint, isn't enough. We like to fucking circle jerk ourselves all the time about how good of fans we are. We showed up when we were, we didn't win a game and we sold out the stadium. Who fucking cares? Nebraska has sold out 5,000 games in a row. Well, they haven't won anything since the 90s. Selling out doesn't equate to winning. That is good. I'm glad, we have a great atmosphere. I'm not shitting on Willie B. I'm not shitting on the fan base. Have pride. I love being a Carolina fan. I wouldn't trade it. But it is naive for us to sit here and think that we're doing enough when everything would indicate that we're not. And now we have tangible proof that we're not. We have numbers. You can fucking Google it. The numbers that I just read out about the coaches is public fucking knowledge. If you are curious about it, just go Google coaching salaries in the SEC and see where we rank. And guess what? I bet where our coaching salaries rank is right about where our recruiting ranking is, and right about where we finish in the SEC every single year, 7th to 10th. And we finished lower than that this year because we underperformed our talent because our coaching was bad. But, you need good coaching, good talent, luck, money, every year, all the time. It's not just we can we'll just wait until we find the right coach and then we'll give him money. Well, I'm not trying to wait my whole life and never win anything. When is it going to come? Like, now everyone's going to be saying, oh, look, Indiana did it. Cignetti. He's one of one. And who knows when the next Cignetti is going to be here, and why the fuck would he come to South Carolina? Or like, you're willing to put all of your eggs in the basket that we're just going to be the program that hires the next Cignetti? All I'm saying is I'm frustrated as fuck that, Lane Kiffin, fuck him. He's a fucking pussy. I have generational beef with him now. But I'm just sick of, the usual suspects just walking in and taking our lunch money. And we just fucking punk down and cuck out and let them do it. Like, at what point do we say enough is enough? Like, if this is what we're going to be for the rest of my life, I'll just find something else that makes me happy. I mean, shit. Like, if we're just going to let Big Brother of college football come in and just take what we have, then I'll just lower my expectations and be at peace with that. But we keep, like, all these people that I'm friends with that are Carolina fans, like, we keep talking like we want to be part of it and we belong. Well, at some point you have to fucking do what it takes to sit at the adult table, and we're not doing it.
Yes, but everything you're bitching about can only be solved by the administration and the big money donors that are connected with our university. The only two people who can solve it. Unless you believe we can grassroots Garnet Trust and raise fucking $20 million. Like, that's going to be hard to grassroots when we just went 4-8.
We need to do something.
Okay, but I mean,
we need.
The only people who can, like I said, there's only two entities that can solve it. It's big money boosters and it's the administration. So, like, for all your bitching and moaning, it sucks. I'm fucking pissed about Sterling, and I'm even more pissed about fucking Dylan, because Dylan in my boomer ways, like, Dylan shouldn't be able to just follow Sterling to wherever Sterling goes. Like, we opened up, fuck the NCAA, they're enemy number one, because they opened up this can of worms. And I know I don't need you to lecture me on players getting paid for all of all time. Like, I know players got paid in the past. I know they're getting paid now, but NIL means name, image, and likeness. It doesn't mean come play for this school and have free agency every fucking year. This is still college athletics. They can still fucking have a structure to it while the players get paid. Like, that's how it should be. Like, they opened up a can of worms when they did this bullshit.
The portal has helped us more than it has hurt us, and it should be helping us more, but we're too pussy. We're too pussy. Our
Thomas, the portal. What have we done? What have we done in the portal era? What success have we had in the portal era?
You don't think that Spencer coming to South Carolina fucking course corrected the program?
Did it?
How many games would we have won without him those 2 years? Kennard? You don't think that Kennard, having the fucking best defensive player in college football, had a positive impact on our team? Rocket?
I'm saying
portal. We have gained more than we have lost. What I'm saying about the portal is we are net positive in the portal. We are net positive.
And if the portal didn't exist, then the structure of the team would have been completely different. We would have built a different way. If the portal didn't exist, we would have built a different way. We did. The portal has netted us nothing. 1 9-win season. 1 9-win season. Yes, Kennard had a great individual year. Fucking Juice had a good year. Then he fucking sat out the whole year while he collected $1 million from the fans. Spencer was good. We won fucking 12 games when he was our quarterback. Like, we went 4-8 this year.
We probably would have won.
Who knows what we would have won?
If we didn't
Who knows what we would have won? You can't play that game.
Like, quarterback would have been if it wasn't Spencer.
You can't play that game. Who knows? Like, who knows what we would have won without Spencer?
I know that we won more games with Spencer's our quarterback than we would have won if we had to start someone on the roster or start a true freshman from high school.
If without the portal, the construction of the roster and the mindset of the staff is completely different. So you can't play hypotheticals like that. The fact of the matter is the portal has netted us nothing. Nothing. 1 9-win season last year. That's it. That's all the portal. We haven't made up any ground. We're still the same fucking team in the same position in the conference.
Other than 4 years under Spurrier, a 9-win season would have been the second best season in school history. We're poverty.
Yeah, no shit. So we're the exact same. The portal has netted us a 9-win season, which we had.
What I'm telling you is we're the exact same as we've always been, portal or no portal, NIL or no NIL, because we don't do what it takes. We don't do what it takes.
I mean, that's fair.
We know what it takes now. There's a number on it now, and we don't do it. So it's either we're never going to do it, or I'm just sick of us acting like we're serious about the program and then not being serious about the program. Because if we're not going to be serious,
like I said,
if we're not going to be serious, then just fucking say, okay, now we're okay with just being the fucking whipping boy. We're the doormat of the SEC, and we'll take the fucking TV check, and we'll be 10th. And that's what we'll be, and we'll beat up on the group of 5. And we'll try to beat Clemson sometimes. But that's what we are. Like, stop selling me that we're fucking trying to be in the conversation. And then when something that is so cut and dry, straightforward as to how you remain in the conversation happens, we don't do it. If we're a serious program, you don't let LSU, a team in your conference that we don't play next year, but, we could see them in the SEC championship or in the playoff. If you're serious, you don't let them walk in to your fucking facility and take your best recruiter and walk out.
I'm not happy about it either, but
what I'm saying is, yes, it is an administration problem. It is a board of trustees problem. So what I'm saying is we need to hold them accountable. Are they? Are they appointed? How do they get the? How do they get?
They're appointed. They're appointed. by the governor. So you need
Why
to run for
the fuck is
governor.
the governor of South Carolina appointing members to the board of trustees for South Carolina?
Because it's a state institution.
All right, well, then we need to call the governor and say, listen, bitch, our board of trustees sucks, and I'm unhappy, and you do not have my vote until it's fixed. We have to start doing something because I cannot live in this world anymore. I cannot live with this being the status quo for South Carolina. It's unacceptable to me, and I refuse to accept it anymore. So, fucking, who's the is McMaster still the governor?
Yeah.
You're on the clock. McMaster, you're on the clock. Yeah. Well, all right, incumbent.
You need to run for governor.
I will run for governor. I will run for governor, and best believe when I'm governor, the South Carolina Board of Trustees is in trouble. Shit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Like, trust me, I want more investment too. I want to be competitive, but there's a reality that we have to live in, and this is our current reality, and we need to try and get more investment, but the only way we get more substantial investment is the administration and the people that can actually move fucking mountains with their pockets. Like, that's what it is. Like, to your point about the Ohio States and the Georgias and their administrations, and they're getting funding from the people that can actually fucking make a difference. Like, that's what it is. Like, the problem, like, the issue you're bringing up, every college football program is bringing up. Because Ole Miss just got Lane Kiffin sniped from him, and they were literally prepared to offer him whatever he wanted. Like, sometimes it just is what it is. We don't know what went on in that room with Sterling. We don't know why he wanted to go to LSU. Like, maybe we did do everything we could and tried to make him an offer he couldn't refuse, but just gave him, but you don't give a D-line coach a blank check, but
why not? So we didn't offer him an irresponsible amount, and now we don't have a D-line coach. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, and then we have to replace him.
Try something new. We've had a program for 120 years, and we don't have a championship. Let's shake it up a little bit. Let's fucking try something.
We'll find another D-line coach, and we have recruiters on this staff. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm pissed, but I just think I understand you're pissed, and this isn't what you want to hear, but you have to live in the reality of what an athletic administration is trying to do and where the money comes from.
The question is
how the approvals have to get done, and
all
of these things.
That's great. Yeah, there's a chain of command. What my question is, what is our administration trying to do? Like, I have lost faith in the fact that our administration takes football seriously. And I want to know. I want to know if we take football seriously. And if we do.
Newsflash, buddy, that all they're trying to do is make money. That's all they're trying to do. And obviously winning is what helps you to make money.
Right. Well,
ultimately, that's all they're trying to do.
Notion is like, we don't care about winning. We just care about, having the athletic department in the black. Like, why don't you go do a case study about the Nick Saban effect in Alabama? Nick Saban brought more wealth and prosperity to Tuscaloosa than probably any single person in the history of that city or that university. If they want to make money, they should focus on being good at football. Like it will come back around. So
I agree.
what I'm trying to say is like I get it, dude. Like, yeah, Beamer can't just wave a magic wand and pay Sterling whatever he wants. But if there's people at, if Donati and the board and the administration are, they don't care about football, then I want to replace them. Like, we need to stop bitching about Beamer and stop bitching about the OC and start bitching about the board of trustees. Like, what I'm trying to say is, I think the fan base's discontent and anger and ire are going to the wrong place. Like, we need to start holding if it's the administration, then we need to start holding them accountable and calling for their jobs and trying to replace them. Because what the fuck does it matter if we fire Beamer and the staff and Donati hires somebody else and the administration handicaps that coach too? That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you. But there's only enough money to be spent by the people who are willing to get it. It basically just depends on who, like you brought up the Beamer buyout, the 26 mil. We were going to have that 26 mil if someone with $26 million was invigorated enough to give $26 million to get rid of him. It only happens if the people with money, you and I can be as passionate as we are, and it only happens if the people with the pockets happen to care or want to make a change or want to do anything. That is my point. So, we need to work on getting rich.
I am trying to get rich. Shit. What do you think that this podcast is for?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We need to honestly start slashing Ross's salary. I mean, I think we're overpaying him.
Yeah, we need to redirect what we're paying Ross into fucking NIL. That's the problem.
Yeah. Nah, it's a fair rant, and I just think, again, we weren't behind the doors to see or hear what went down with this, but it's a shitty feeling.
I swear to God, if Sterling is making less than 1.3 at LSU, I'm going to be livid. I'm going to be livid. Because we have that. We have that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be livid no matter what. But I'll be the closer he is to him. If he's making less than $1 million, we're going to have to run this rant back.
We need to see what happens. But yeah, this is a big blow to a positive off season. We're going to continue talking about the landscape of college football and my gripes with it and how I'm growing to have a disdain for some of the changes that are coming, that have come and are continuing to come, and I'm going to come. But
I'm telling you, dude, all this like portal they shouldn't be able to transfer, it helps us more than it hurts us. Like the players that you are sick of losing, that we would be able to keep if the rule changes back, to 3 years before you can transfer. Well, that means that Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, they get to keep all their players for 3 years too. All it would do
but
is
out of high school, you can recruit with NIL too. So you're still getting the even spread of talent because all schools are offered. Yes, you're still going to get the even spread.
Okay, dude. I'm telling you, dude, this help. Like, the current system has rocked the boat. Like, the Blue Bloods have less dominance than they used to have. My frustration is that
do they?
Yes.
Who's won the national championships in the NIL era?
Well, this year, I mean, we already highlighted Indiana and Texas Tech, but Oregon is in the playoff. They've never won a national championship. Texas A&M is in the playoff. They've never won a national championship. So 25% of the field has a realistic chance of winning the national championship for the first time. That would be the boat being rocked. My frustration is that we
aren't rocking the boat.
We should be Texas Tech or Indiana. What I'm pissed about is that the boat rocked and we stayed in the same fucking space. That's why I'm mad. I'm not. Yeah, there are refinements that need to happen. We've already touched on it. The calendar sucks. The calendar is a disaster. But I don't think the changes have hurt us. I think we have not capitalized on the changes. That is where my frustration lies. We've been behind the 8 ball our entire lives. And then, there's this huge landscape shifting change that should allow us to narrow the gap. And instead of doing that, we just let other teams that were behind us pass us. It's infuriating. Like, maybe we are cursed. Maybe we are due. Like, maybe this is our station forever. But I'm trying to figure that out. I mean, I can find another fucking hobby, or I can just.
I think we can, with the 3 years. I get it, and I know we were bitching, or I was bitching and yelling about, like, we haven't won anything in the portal era. We've gotten good players, and I agree in a sense, but I still think that the way things are, like, even if we implemented a 3-year, because what I'm proposing is still allowing guys to transfer within their first 3 years, but they're just going to get docked a year of eligibility. And then there's still going to be, every year, there's still going to be guys that are redshirt sophomores with 2 years to play, or juniors with 1 year to play, that will go into the portal. And so there's still going to be player movement, and you're still going to be able to fill pieces on your roster. But it just puts the emphasis back on high school recruiting, and they're still able to get paid. But it's college athletics. At the end of the day, it's still about college. I just want it to be about, like, college athletics is different than professional athletics for a reason. Like, I just want it to get back to that a little bit more. I just think it would make the game better and more enjoyable. And I know these guys get paid, but ultimately, if they go out to South Carolina at a high school because they got a bag, but they stay there for 3 or 4 years, they grow to love South Carolina. And then they come back, and then it helps the program. Like, having a transfer guy, I think, is less helpful to, like.
I don't agree with that, dude. Like, Fernando Mendoza has been at Indiana for 1 year, and he won the Heisman, and he's in the playoffs with them, first undefeated season ever. Like, he loves Indiana. because he won there and it changed his life. And now his little brother goes there. Like, I don't think that just because a kid is forced to stay at a school for 3 years, it necessarily will equate to them loving that school, especially if it's one of the kids that would like to transfer and now because of the rule changing back cannot. I think at the end of the day, success breeds.
Well, anyone's gonna love where they have success. Like,
Right. So, like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, and I don't think that changing the transfer rule back helps us be more competitive. I think the current system allows us to be more competitive.
I don't know. I think that's debatable, but I just ultimately, like I said, the NCAA fucked up by opening up this can of worms, and now it's going to be hard to go back. So I don't know if it will go back. But
look, once collective bargaining comes through, there will be contracts. It will be a lot more. It'll be a lot cleaner. Most of the money, most of the base layer of money, will be coming from the school. But like I've said, the programs that are serious, that is where the fans will still need to step in. Whether it's the big fish or the little fish, it's going to be the floor, not the ceiling. And the programs that are content with spending $15, $16, $17 million on their football team should be content with $15, $16, $17 million records. And here's a secret. Teams that are going to spend $30 million, 15 coming from the collective bargaining agreement, 15 coming from privately funded wherever, they're going to have better players and probably beat the teams that only spend $15 million. And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But that's not new. I want to remind everybody that's
it's not new. I know it's not new.
It's been happening since the 70s.
I know it's not new.
For forever. The good teams invest more in their program. And they always have. And that's why they're good.
Yeah, we'll stop it there, because if I bring up something else, then it'll just start another debate. But this was an emergency episode talking about Sterling Lucas. We will still have an episode on Sunday, recapping the college football playoff games and just talking more shit. So go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as our Spotify and Apple Podcast. And we always appreciate everyone who listens and watches. The Cajun Cousins flag withstood the big bad wolf yelling, so she's still hanging. So shout out to Cajun Cousins. Shout out to Hughley Insurance, Harrison Williamson Cross Country Mortgage. Appreciate them and appreciate all of you listening. As always, go Cox.
Go Cox.